In a war-damaged schoolroom open to the grey skies of the rainy season, Igbo children take up their lessons after the Civil War. Once they sang about Biafra, but now there's another lesson to be learned, the new reality of one Nigeria that every Igbo must accept.
His name is Gowan. G-O-W-N, Gowan.
G-O-W-N, Gowan.
Again.
G-O-W-N, Gowan.
Every teacher who wants to keep his job, every child who wants to make the most of his slim chance of material success in a united Nigeria must learn new loyalties, except that Biafra has gone forever and that their new hero must now be Gowon, not a Jokwu.
The head of state. This as Lagos. His name is Gowan.
Even though the schools have no books, pencils or blackboards, the Igbos are grasping at the education that will give them the chance to rise above their defeat, perhaps to find work in other parts of Nigeria, just as their parents used to do. The state government has taken over the mission schools, but the teachers have often received only 1 month's salary since the war ended.
The teacher's bill comes to about $750,000 a month. We are not in a financial position to pay this.
You just haven't got the money?
But, well, we haven't got the money, but we've made arrangements for the money. The federal government has agreed to advance us this money to pay. And so we've started paying, but there are still a few teachers in the more remote areas where the sub-treasuries have not yet been set up, who haven't got their pay.
There are still some memories of Biafra to be found. These plane wrecks at the end of Uli airstrip are emotional reminders of the airlift of food and arms that stiffened the resistance of the Igbos to federal forces for 30 months. But the airstrip has not been used since the war ended. One of the first federal actions was to tear up the runway tarmac to cut Uli down to size, the width of the road it used to be. It's still the best bit of road in the area. Mines, heavy military transport and the tank traps the Biafrans dug across the roads have reduced many of them to almost impassable mudholes. One official estimate has put the cost of their repair at £12 million. Not only the roads are in a disastrous condition. This vital railway bridge across the River Imo, which links the north and east of Nigeria with the sea, is now being repaired by British contractors. The local labour here is Igbo, because the bridge is in the east central state, but only a few miles south in the new Rivers state, it's very different. Here at Nigeria's only oil refinery, not one of the Igbos who worked here before the war has been allowed back. Some who bravely applied for their old jobs only narrowly escaped with their lives. Igbo workers have been rejected by the River State's government on security grounds, even though as a federal undertaking the refinery should recruit its staff from all over Nigeria. So the refinery is now working again without the Igbos. It's already up to its pre-war output of 30 to 40,000 barrels a day, enough to supply Nigeria's present needs. But other factories at Port Harcourt remain idle. The Igbos who used to dominate commerce and industry here have not been allowed back, and the River State men, however eager to take over their jobs, have not yet acquired the necessary skills. Outside the docks, I asked some Rivers men what they thought of the Igbos.
Igbos, though we are all one Nigeria, but they misbehave themselves, and we feel at the moment, at this time, they should remain in their East Central state.
You don't think there is a place for them to work down here now?
At the moment, I don't think so.
Do you think it will come in the future?
That future can tell.
But not now?
Not now.
The federal government has many times said that Igbos will live with their compatriots again in peace and prosperity. But whatever General Gowon may say about reconciliation in faraway Lagos, it's not happening here in the Rivers State. This is Igrita, where these Igbos have lived for centuries. During the war they fled, and local people from other tribes who remained seized the chance to occupy or destroy their homes and seize their farmland. So now these people, there may be as many as 10,000 of them, huddle in squalid refugee camps like this, outcasts in their own towns. All their petitions to the governor of the River State have gone unanswered. There's no indication that they will ever get their homes back. How long is it that you and your people have lived here?
We have been here more than 400 years ago.
As long as that?
Over 400 years ago.
Do you have any other home at all?
We haven't got any place, no home again than here, than Ikwere here.
What do you think the local people want to do to you?
Well, the people say they want to fight us. So because we ran away when there was a booming of guns during the Civil War, you see, and the army people protect them, not allow them to fight us.
So the army at the moment is keeping you and them apart?
Yeah, the army people are guiding us here.
What would happen if the army left you alone?
They said they will fight against us.
They'll try and drive you out?
Yes, sir.
One group of Igbo refugees in the River State has flourished since the end of the war. These fat and happy children are the same ones that we saw suffering enormous